Yeah, new unit, new me. You want some of these French fries? You like French fries? Yeah, they're not good for you. They probably doing like trans oil or something bad. Whoa, make your own. Slice up some fry wedges, make your own. So let's see here. In the oven, right? Make them healthy. So we just learned about adding, subtracting, no, multiplying, dividing rationals. So now we're doing adding, subtracting. So you need to, number one, factor the top and bottom. Number two, you need to list the restrictions. List the restrictions. Number three, get a common denominator. Number four, combine the top over the bottom ones. And then number five, simplify more if needed. Way-oh. Right? Cancel stuff out. If you can. Not usually, but sometimes. All right. So then, let's see, number 11. Oh, we already have a common denominator. Factor the top and bottom, don't need to. For number 11, we don't need to. List the restrictions. Yeah, we can list the restrictions. So the restrictions down here, you take the x minus 2. You set it not equal to 0. You set it not equal to 0. And then you go ahead and add 2 to the other side. Oh, okay, so x just can't equal 2? Yeah, x can't equal 2. Because if you put a 2 in there, 2 minus 2 is 0. Cannot divide by 0, right? 4x or 0 or whatever, to the 100. Yeah, whatever. So cannot divide by 0. Cannot divide by 0. So our restriction is 2. Our restriction is 2. Beautiful. What's the restrictions over on this one? Well, it's a negative 2 would be bad. A positive 2 would be bad. And we need to factor this one. So we pull out a 2, and we're left with x squared minus 4. And so that would be positive or negative 2 would also be bad. So negative 2 and positive 2. So factor the top and bottom, and then list your restrictions, right? List your restrictions. Again, those are restrictions. That's bad. And this one's bad. Right? Bad because you can't divide by 0. Undefined. So those are our restrictions, so don't forget to list those. Okay, so then get a common denominator. So common denominator, check. We already got one. So now you're going to combine the top over the bottom once. All right, let's see. So we're going to go ahead and write down 4x minus 2x plus 3 all over the bottom once. So why are we writing it over the bottom just once? Well, let me show you with numbers. Okay, can I show you with numbers? So here's an example why we have to combine the top over the bottom once. So 1/3 plus 1/3 is, what's 1/3 plus 1/3? Yeah, it's 1 plus 1 thirds, which is 2/3, which is 2/3. But now, what if I take it one step further and I put an x in there? Whoa, 1x over 3 plus just 1 over 3 is 1x plus 1 over 3. Because you can't combine a 1x and a 1. So that's just our answer. Yeah, so watch out. So combine the top over the bottom just once. Okay, don't forget to distribute the negative through. That should be in there as well. Get a common denominator. Combine the top over the bottom once. Maybe step 4.5 is distribute the negative through. Negative through. Distribute the negative through. Way-oh. Okay, so we distribute the negative through. So we get 4x minus 2x minus 3, right? Minus 3. There you go. So then 4x minus 2x is just 2x. Minus 3 all over x minus 2. And because of the whoa, don't kill the baby. What? So we cannot cancel the x's, right? So cannot, unless it's multiplication. Because of addition or subtraction, addition or subtraction cannot cancel the x terms, right? So if it had been something else, instead of 2x minus 3 over x minus 2, if it was, for example, like 2x times negative 3 all over x times negative 2, then you could x divided by x and 2 divided by negative 2, right? So that would just leave you with a 3. But that's if multiplication, right? So that's if multiplication. If and only if multiplication. So if and only if stop doing that. If and only if multiplication is present. All right, well, so that's just our answer, and we cannot combine anything else there. So that's just our answer. That's just our answer. Cool. Okay, so then show you number 13 next. I'm going to shrinky-dink some of the notes there. Come on, shrinky-dink. Come on, you, shrinky-dink. There we go. Okay, so then distribute the negative through. Shrinky-dink. There we go. Shrinky-dink. Okay, so then number 13, we already factored it, right? Oh, can factor more, Newell. They can factor more. So pause me, try it on your own. So x squared minus 4 can factor more. Can factor into what? Try it on your own. So 2 and 2, negative and positive. So all three terms need the same common denominator before you can combine the top over the bottom once. Right? So what we did there is we factored it. We listed the exclusions. And now we have to get a common denominator. So this side right here, the x plus 2, that's same as that. And so that means, what does it need? So that means that it needs a 2 and it needs a, so it needs a 2 and it needs an x minus 2, right? It's supposed to be red. Come on, red. So it needs a 2 and an x minus 2 is what this x plus 2 needs. So multiply a 2 with an x minus 2 to the bottom. And if you multiply it to the bottom, common denominator, then you have to multiply it to the top. So then we multiply it by 2x minus 2 as well. So now we have a common denominator there. And then we also need this x minus 2. So now this x minus 2 is already done. Check. Right? But what are we missing? We're missing the 2 and the x plus 2. So this also needs to multiply with it a 2 and an x plus 2. And if you multiply it to the bottom, you have to multiply it to the top. So then this gets multiplied with it, a 2, as well as an x plus 2. There we go. And then this already has everything. Has everything. Has everything. And so this one's already done. Okay, so now we have a common denominator. So we're going to combine the top over the bottom once now. Combine the top over the bottom once. Distribute any negatives. Okay, so that's a technically negative 1 times 2 is a negative 2, right? That we're going to go ahead and distribute. First this one, Newell. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4. And so that's 4 times x minus 2. And so we distribute that through. We get 4x minus 8. Good. Then we have a negative 2 times x, which is a negative 2x. And then negative 2 times 2 is a negative 4. And then don't forget that we also have the plus x. So we also have the plus x. And there's our plus x. And so all of that is over the bottom, over the denominator. And our denominator is, what's our denominator? So our denominator is 2 times x minus 2 times x plus 2 with our restrictions of negative 2 and positive 2. Okay, so we're nearly done. Okay, so now we combine the top. So we have a 4x and a negative 2x and a plus x. So 4x with 2x minus 2x is 2x. And then 2x plus 1x is a 3x. And then negative 4 and negative 8 is a negative 12. All over our common denominator, 2 times x minus 2 times x plus 2. And you can leave the denominator in factored form. You don't have to multiply it through. So that's our answer. Now I would factor this just to make sure. So that's x minus 4. If you pulled out the 3, that would be x minus 4, right? 12 divided by 3 is 4. But nothing in the bottom canceled with the top, so we're okay. So that would just be our final answer with our exclusions. Final answer with our exclusions. Okay, so go to the next one. You try number 14 on your own. Check on Canvas. And we'll try 15 as well. Let's take a look at 15. Okay, so factor first, right? Pause me. You try 15 on your own. Pause me. I'm waiting. You're not going to learn this unless you try it on your own, right? Take off the training wheels. Okay, so first you factor it, and you get x and x, and you get 1 and 3 is what factors of 3 are. Sign of middle term goes with the big number. Oh, wouldn't you know? It's exactly the same as that one, and that's the same as that one, huh? That was on purpose. So that means the right side is already done, right? You don't have to give, that's already got the common denominator. We just have to manipulate the first two terms. So we just have to manipulate this one, and this one is what we have to manipulate. To get a common denominator, Okay, so this one, x plus 3, is missing the x minus 1. So we multiply it by x minus 1 to the top and bottom. And then this guy over here, so this one is missing the, so x minus 1 is missing the x plus 3. So then it gets an x plus 3 to the top and bottom. Cool. So now we have a common denominator. And so we have an x minus 1 times x plus 3 in the bottom. And then we distribute the 2 through, so 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. And then we have a minus x is what we're going on there, right? We've got a minus x there that we're going to distribute through. So we get a negative x squared minus 3x. And then we have a plus x squared plus 2. Plus x squared plus 2. And now we're going to combine the top over the bottom once and simplify. Combine like terms. So the 1x squared with the negative x squared, those are opposite, right? That's a 1, that's a negative 1. So they're just going to cancel. Whoa, just cancel. And then we have a 2 with a negative 2. Those are going to cancel. Whoa. So we just have a 2x minus 3x. And 2x minus 3x is just a negative x. All over our common denominator, x minus 1 and x plus 3. Whoa, Newbold, you forgot to list the restrictions. That was back in the beginning. Okay, let's make sure nothing in the bottom canceled out because that's where the restrictions come from. So we're missing our restrictions. X can't equal a positive 1. And x can't equal a negative 3. Those are our restrictions. Okay, so try 17 on your own now. Try 17. So I'll give you the hint. That, and I'll set it up, and then you finish it. So you're going to do lots of factoring there, lots of factoring. So x and x, x and x. Ooh, factors of 24. 6 and 4. Got to have a difference of 5, though. Ooh, try again. What do you think? Pause me. So 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 3 is 24. Sign of the middle term goes with the bigger number. Over here we have 8 times 4. And so the sign of the middle term goes with the bigger number. And then 8x minus 3x is 5x. And 8x minus 4x is 4x. Okay, so we factored it right. Woo! So now we just need a common denominator. They both have an x plus 8, but they're also both missing the other factor, right? So we're going to go ahead and multiply x minus 4, right, to that side, and multiply x minus 3 to this side. Way-o. There we go. So this gets, right, let me see here. So this gets a x minus 3. This gets, I said orange. This gets an x minus 3 to the top and bottom. X minus 3 to the top and bottom. X minus 3 to the top and bottom. And then on this side, this one gets a x minus 4 to the top and bottom. Nice, nice. So now we have a common denominator, right? So now we have x minus 4 times x plus 8 times x minus 3. That's our common denominator. And those are our restrictions. You try. What do you think? What do you think the restrictions are? X can't equal? Good. Opposite sign. Opposite sign. Positive 4, negative 8, positive 3 is our restrictions. So there's our restrictions. Okay, so now you're going to do some foiling now, right? You're going to do some foiling. So multiply that with that, and that with that. Seashell. Don't forget seashell. And then you multiply that with that, and then 2 gets multiplied through as well. Seashell, make a seashell there. And then this is just a negative 7 that you're going to distribute through. So that gives us negative 7x plus 21. But what did you get? What did you get for this one? So I'll let you finish that on your own, okay? Finish that on your own. Finish that on your own, combine like terms. And then ask me in class what you got. Okay, last but not least, number 19. So Taylor is looking at her most recent 5 test scores. Her average of her last 5 test scores has the same value as the median of her test scores. So whatever her average is, oh, they tell us. So the sum of the 5 scores is 450. So that's 450, right? That's adding up the 1, that's adding up the 5, adding up the 5 test scores. So we add them all up and divide by 5, and we get 90. So the average equals 90. The average of her last test has the same value as the median. So that means that the median equals 90, and the average equals 90. Okay, so what is the sum of the 4 test scores that are not the median? Well, we don't know what they are. x1 plus x2 plus the median, 90, plus the 3rd test score plus the 4th test score. But we know if you divide them all by 5, then you should get the average. And you should get the average, which is 90, so that's good. Okay, so then if we go ahead and times that 5 to the other side, right? So times it to the other side, then we get our 450, good. And so then we go ahead and minus the 90. And if we minus the 90 to the other side, we get 360. And so the other scores, right, the other scores that are not the median, x1 plus x2 plus x3 and 4. So the other 4 test scores, the other 4 that are not the median, they add up to be 360. Woo! All right, thanks for watching. You behind the screen, thanks for watching. Red pen for you. What? How about a ruler? Yeah, ruler. Thanks for watching.